Hey there. I've got a little raspy throat this morning. It doesn't hurt. I feel great, but my voice is raspy. Must be from talking a lot. I've been traveling around all over and having great conversations with great people all over Idaho. And so I've got a little raspy throat, but I want to address something that I have actually addressed before, but it just keeps coming up. And that is people want government to somehow use additional force to make employers and corporations not mandate things such as vaccines or masks. And believe me, I get it. I do get it because it seems like these corporations, like Costco and many others. I use Costco because that's a place that we used to go all the time, and now we don't go there anymore because of their lack of respect for liberty. But that's kind of the point. We don't go there. We get a choice. We get to choose who we spend our money with, and Costco gets to pay the price of us not going there. We used to spend thousands of dollars there every year. And I know that I'm not alone. Now they're probably doing just fine without me. They probably don't care about one person, one family. And they're probably just fine without me. But if more and more people would stand on liberty, and not go to Costco and other companies that don't respect their liberty, then Costco would start changing their policies. Because believe me, these people love money. They love money. They love to be successful, and they would change their policy. They would stop forcing this garbage. But not enough people stand, and that has become a problem. Because we are losing our liberty because people want convenience and they want accessibility. And believe me, I get it. It's hard not to go to Costco. I used to love going there. Good prices, good products. But if they're not going to respect liberty, then in the end, it doesn't matter how great a price, as we see with the inflation. It doesn't matter how great a price or how great of product they have, because our supply lines will be diminished, and our inflation will increase it so we can't even buy it. And that's all because people wouldn't stand for liberty. Now, the same goes for the employer and the employee. An employer owns his business. Now, there's some big corporate, but the principles of ownership are the same, whether it's a large corporation or a small corporation. And it only would matter or change if we're talking about a public, government or publicly funded entity. So the relationship is the same, and it's the same as a customer business owner relationship. The employee business owner relationship is the same. And what we have here is we have people that continue to think that the government should get involved and force the employer to keep the employee employed, if the employee decides they don't want the vaccine or they don't want to wear masks. And the problem with that is a couple fold, and I've addressed this. Is one, the government won't get it right. And two is they will begin to intrude on all employers' rights. And three, it's not the effective or proper answer. The proper answer, that is, just the same with Costco, not respecting people's liberty, customers' liberty, is you don't go there. And an employee should get together with other employees in that company and say, no, we're not going to get the vaccine, and you are going to have to fire us. Now, when it comes to the role of the state, the the pieces are already in place. We don't need new legislation. We don't need a new executive order. We don't need those things. The pieces are already in place, because let's say a company coerces an employee to get the vaccine, because sometimes, it's very difficult to lose your job. And let's say they force an employee to get the vaccine, and then that vaccine has a very adverse effect on the individual, or even it kills them. In that situation, then the employer is liable. Just like if the employer asked or demanded that they do something, an employee does something that's unsafe and puts pressure on them, and then they go do that and they get hurt. But why do we need new legislation for that? Why do we need new, executive orders or protection for that? We already have that. That is already in place. And so it needs to be utilized secondarily to employees saying no. And if you're going to force me to do these things, then you have to fire me. Because especially right now, where we're in kind of a labor supply crisis, where employers are desperate for employees right now. Why wouldn't the employees get together? And this is an issue, and I'm going to wrap this up, because it's like you and I, or the general people, just don't want to unite. I don't know if we're too lazy, we're too afraid, we're too busy. But look, in the past, when there's been terrible or even poor working circumstances at a business, the employees have always got together, united, and corrected the problem. And government didn't have to come in like a big brother and like a mom and a dad and try to fix a problem for us. People got together and they fixed it themselves. And this idea that you got to run to government to solve your problems, then we make more government and stronger government, and we authorize government to do more things. It's just a bad idea, and I get it all over. Well, Ammon, you're wrong. I support you on this, but you're wrong on this. The government needs to inject itself. And I say absolutely not. You're wrong. You do not want the government getting involved in the employer relationship. It will destroy that, to where an employer can't hire anybody, and where an employee has to go to the government before they can act. You do not want that. And that's the same with most government programs. Anyway, I offer you this one more time as the proper solution, and thank you for your time.